Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I am a brother.
Wait, hold on. Intro. First of all, we've got two of the biggest legends here, bro. You wanna go into the question?
They should know these guys.
What's this, man? They know who they are, but come on, fam. They're back. Come on, like. There's got to be some sort of noise made, innit?
Listen, but you know when an old school comes back,
yeah.
You need to introduce it properly.
You gotta show respect, fam.
Yes, apologies.
Salman, aka Salmadon. Salmadon is that medicine, isn't it? You know Salmadon?
That's
just flopped it.
You trying to flop that, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Take time, but take time.
They're gonna try to involve me as well.
No,
bro.
that's not him, man.
Go. So,
you start with Salmadon, okay.
And Jibril, aka Jibs.
There you go. Leave it there.
Fish and jibs, yeah?
Fish and Jibs, yeah. So I was gonna say something else, but I didn't want to flop again, Joe. Like, you can't flop twice.
I had to do that. Alright, so we've had a question sent in, guys, which I'm going to read out now. So hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I'm a brother and I need some advice. I have a very bad skin condition that I developed around the age of 16. It was quite sudden, and me and my father went to a lot of doctors about it, but unfortunately there wasn't much they could do. I've spent a lot of money on special creams and washes, everything you can think of, with disappointing results, and it plays on my mind. I am now 22 and I haven't gone a day without thinking about it. It makes me hate myself. I don't even want to look in the mirror. I haven't even gone outside in a t-shirt for years, and it can get super hot in the summer, which makes me look like an idiot. Ever since I was young, I had always went swimming. It was the love of my life. It was my love, maybe like how some brothers love football. Swimming for me was an escape, but I haven't been since I was 16. As a brother, I know I should suck it up more because I'm a man now. I'm really hard on myself and I work really hard in the gym, maybe naively wishing it just peels away. But I know I'm just lying to myself. Wallah, it kills me to wake up every day and look down to see my whole upper body covered in this rash burn look, and to think it will stay with me forever is unbearable. My mother wants me to find a wife, and so does my father. As I'm the only child, the pressure is getting to me. I don't think my mother knows how severe it is, as I'm always covered at home. I'm not comfortable with myself, so marriage is not a possibility, even though I have physical urges. I have slowly stopped talking to my best mates and stopped hanging out outside. I would give anything to have normal skin and to enjoy activities I once did, like swimming. My skin has literally affected my life in such a negative way. It might not be a big deal to a lot of people, but wallahi, this has ruined most of my teenage and adult life. I've tried everything, but I've given up hope. It has effed my mind up, as I was once confident and loud, and you wouldn't notice, but now you wouldn't notice me if I was in the same room. I have made numerous du'as for my situation, but I don't think anything will happen. It's been years and my iman is not as strong, but I try, wallahi. Sorry if my email is all over the place. I get emotional thinking about this. Assalamu alaikum.
Bro. To start off here, bro, I just want to say, what did he say? He said, as a brother, I know I should suck it up more, as I'm a man now. Listen, man, first 22, first of all, you're young, bro. Ski, man. May Allah give you something, first of all. Second of all, don't think like that, bro. Honestly, because it's, issues like this that affect, the very core of who we are in terms of self-esteem, in terms of, our mental health and mental well-being. Don't think that, don't put yourself under this unnecessary pressure, bro. Honestly, because you're suffering, you're genuinely suffering. This is something that you've been tested with. So don't tell yourself that what you're feeling is wrong, or that you shouldn't feel these, you shouldn't feel emotionally vulnerable. That's completely natural. You know what I'm saying? It's not your fault. It's just the society that we live in that tells you that, there's this kind of over-reliance on hyper-masculinity, and the fact that, as a man, you need to be a certain way all the time. Emotions are wrong. If you feel a certain way, you shouldn't feel it at all. Everything tells us this, from movies to TV shows to our music, to everything. And that's a problem with society, and you shouldn't let that hurt, impact you like that, bro, because what you're feeling is valid. There's nothing wrong with being emotionally vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with feeling like this, because this is affecting you and is affecting you. So before we even get into it properly, I just want to say, bro, what you're feeling is valid. And don't feel like, this is impacting who you are as a man. There's no shame in feeling emotionally vulnerable as a man. There's no shame whatsoever. So first of all, just on that point, your feelings are valid. and don't let society tell you that you shouldn't feel a certain type of way because you're a man. So just kind of kick it off like that.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people want to like try bottle up and try and say you should deal with it because you're a man and you shouldn't feel anything. But it's a completely legitimate like concern, especially. You said your whole upper body was covered in a rash or a burn. That would send a lot of people way over the edge. Like so,
So you're strong in that
Yeah,
sense.
it's really definitely.
Because like some people got like 1 or 2 spots in their face and they can't like go outside or they
Yeah.
can't go outside. So for you to go through like some sort of like skin condition, I don't think you mentioned which one it is, but you're stronger than most right now. You're not breaking down like everyone else would have. I remember I had like a spot on my nose, right? I had like I had a spot on my nose, and it wasn't like a normal spot. Initially, I thought it was a normal spot, but I went to the GP and then I found out that it's a wart. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, wart. Yeah.
So when I found out that the wart was on my nose, the guy was like, "Listen, you can't put any kind of cream on there, right? And it won't disappear like any other what's it called, normal spot." So I thought, wow, like I'm gonna have to, because I had that spot for like a month or 2, innit? And when I used to go work and I used to speak to people at work, like you can just tell someone's eye just going towards that spot. Do you know what I mean? Like it's very off-putting, because you don't want to have a conversation with someone when they're constantly looking. That's their viewpoint. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't even want to have a conversation. Like I was try that little small spot on my nose, because it suddenly looked like a weird little thing. Like, it was like a weird thing growing in my nose.
And that was one spot.
And that was one spot, bro. And I was like, I didn't want to speak to no one. Like I was like, right, let me try to avoid the conversation. I would try to like IM people instead of like speaking to them, whatever. And even my like, I wouldn't want to like be around like people, innit? Like, because everyone would just look at that spot, and that's just one spot. And I was like having that kind of feeling. So for you to go through that your whole upper body, like you're stronger, like.
Obviously, we can't say exactly. We can't give our person. I can't give like proper like advice that would be efficient for you, because I haven't exactly gone through that. But I knew one friend of mine, and he had eczema, eczema, extreme dry skin. But sometimes you get it like inside of your elbows or someplace people can't really see. But this guy had it all over his face as well, and he gave his like skin kind of like a crack texture. And this guy used to wear hoodies all the time. He did not want to be seen. He don't do anything, but he'll come out once in a blue moon and everything. And with him, he just. It's hard to say this, but he kind of just accepted it. He just said, "This is
right."
He resigned to his fate, sort of thing.
Yeah.
He said, "You know what? Yeah, this is me. This is what I'm gonna do." So he just came out. Of course, he told me, "Oh, listen. Sometimes I feel like people come up and point it out." But he said, like, "You know what? This is. I just deal with it. I said, this is who I am." But as long as he felt like he was okay with it, and he overcame it eventually. Of course, you know what I mean. It took a lot of effort and guts to do that. But as soon as he overcame it and said, "You know what? This is gonna be me." Even people brought it up and pointed out to him. He was like, "Yeah, this is me, and you can continue to do it." Sort of thing.
Yeah, acting's kind of mad on that.
Yeah, exactly.
What I would say, bro, from 16, bro.
Yeah, that's mad.
From off the cuff, bro, I'd say first of all, I know it's hard, but one thing I can tell you is very likely your friends don't care. You know what I'm saying? So. And isolating yourself, cutting yourself off from people and from your closest friends, it won't help, because you're going to be stuck with yourself and your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? When you're on your own, it becomes many times worse. So I'd say first of all, try to. I know it's difficult, bro, and honestly, it's easy for us to sit here and say you should do this and that, but you're in that situation now. But yes, I'd say try to kind of reconnect with your friends again, because just having people around you, people that care for you, your friends, even if it's for a temporary amount of time, it will take your mind off it. And having that support network, whether it's your friends or your family, whatever it is really important. So I'd say try to connect back with your friends. And you said that you hadn't told your mother, and she's kind of pushing you towards finding a wife. Your mum is your biggest cheerleader and your biggest source of emotional support. And even though it's going to be hard opening up to her and opening up to anyone really, but I'd say open up to your mum, bro. Open up to your mum, really speak to her, show her if that's what you need to do, but really speak to her, open up all your insecurities, what you're going through, because when you're going through something on your own like that, You cut yourself off from the support networks that are there, that exist there to help you. You know, your friends, your family, your mother. It makes it so much harder because you're having to struggle on your own. So I'd say, try to reconnect back with your friends. And don't lose hope, first of all. Don't lose hope in the fact that there's a cure. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, there's a cure for every illness except for death. So don't lose hope. And I know you mentioned something about Islam. Going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I mean, apart from your family, that is the highest support network you can have.
Exactly.
You know, going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and trying to find solace through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I'd say try to strengthen that and strengthen your connection with your friends again, and speak to your mum. Be open to your mum, and maybe your dad, because he hasn't kept up to date with it, or maybe he doesn't know to what extent things are going on. But be open with your parents, because honestly, mate, you'll find that's the best support that you can find, and it will be a huge weight off your shoulders. And genuinely, I'd suggest, this is a taboo in our community, especially amongst our age group, but I genuinely suggest some kind of counsellor or psychiatrist or psychologist, because because this isn't just an issue of your skin condition. This is affecting you mentally
as well.
This is having effects, and these mental effects are affecting your life. So I'd say go to the GP, tell them the problem that you're having, not just the skin condition, but the problems you're having mentally, and they'll refer you to a counsellor or a specialist in that field. And speaking to a professional in that field, I think will have hopefully will improve things for you in terms of your mindset and in terms of what you're going through, and it'll take it out there. So it won't be just you suffering on your own. You'll have that professional help. You'll have the support network from your friends and from your family, and hopefully things might improve after that point, inshallah.
One thing I was going to add on as well, like you said, find counsel in your friends as well. You can't really say, try to look at the bright side of things, but probably one of the things I was going to suggest is, because your condition is apparent, people can say straight away, the friends that you're going to speak to us about, if they don't care about it, or if they try to move away from you, already know they're not for you to get it.
Or they try to joke about it.
Exactly, trying to joke about it, or they're not considering your feelings. All friends joke about, we mess about with each other, but we all know there's a line we don't cross. You understand? So if they can have that relationship, because obviously you want a normal life like everyone else. You want to banter, you want to do this, you want to do that, but you want people to also understand that this is affecting you severely. So if you have friends that are gonna realize that, then you already know those are your true people to counsel with. But if you have people that's gonna overstep that is
constantly try to put you on the
exactly, then them not
your friends.
Exactly.
Friends. Also, I wanted to add, you mentioned that you're going to the gym and you enjoy doing swimming. Physical activity, exercise is shown to help with things like depression and mental conditions. It can help. I'm not saying it will, but inshallah it does. So continue with that. Yeah, it takes your mind off it. Find a hobby, become good at something. Maybe do some mixed martial arts that people, it's like a mixture of exercise and sport. So find something that you love. You said you enjoyed swimming. Maybe first go when it's quiet, 6 in the morning, or times when there might not be a lot of people there, and then work your way up and try and go whenever you want. Whenever
you build confidence.
Build your own confidence whenever you think you're ready.
Yeah, and I was gonna add, you said that obviously these are your insecurities, and I think Jib's touched on it a bit. But when you put your insecurities out there, it's a lot easier to deal with, because once you, I don't know, some people are more outwards with their insecurities. They take certain pictures, I don't know, or certain things just to put it out there to the world, and that helps them deal with it a lot easier. Because if you put it out, if you hide it, then you're constantly going to be self-conscious. Yeah, you're constantly going to be no one knows about this except for myself. So I'm going to hide this until forever, basically. But if you put it out there, I'm not saying you have to put out tell people that you got a skin condition or whatever, but
just be normal.
But if you're more normal, so say you said you wear a lot of jumpers and stuff, but if you wear t-shirts and people see you got a skin condition, then people are aware of it now. People will see it as a normal thing. But if you constantly hiding it, then people, I don't know, that's the way I see it. People will be more keen to know what's underneath that. Why is this guy always wearing jumpers? Why is he always doing this? So I don't know if you want. I don't know, because it takes a lot of guts to basically show you the world your insecurities. I'm not saying it's an easy thing, but it's a easy. It's easy. It's a good way to deal with it, because once the world knows, then they can't say nothing about you. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you already showed them what your insecurities are, and you're already proud of that. Like once you're proud of who you are and etc.
They can't use it against you.
Yeah, they can't use that.
Some people, like, you never know, there's potential enemies out there.
Yeah.
And if they know that you're insecure about this, they'll manipulate that and use that against you.
Yeah.
But if you're showing them, listen, this is me and I don't care, they won't use that against you. Think, you know what, whatever I do, you won't have an effect on it anyway.
Yeah, because he's already proud of it. Like if you're proud of something, then you're good. I mean, like it's a hard thing to do, but like I don't know. I find it like if you do it, then the things that come out of it are a lot more beneficial to you than overall. Like in the long run, because short term you might get mocked or etc. But in the long term, you'll be more secure in whatever you do.
You know what that reminds me of? You know the guy from Game of Thrones, the short guy.
Right.
Tyrion.
Tyrion Lannister. He said, "Don't hide away from it."
Yeah.
But it's a journey, innit? Like it's gonna take ages, like Mussa was saying. He goes, "Don't hide away from it. Wear it like it's your armor." So if you wear it like it's your armor, no one can attack you from that, because this is, you know what I mean.
And I think what you'll find, bro, is people don't care.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Most
mate,
people don't.
most people don't care. I think someone once said that we would care so little about what we think people would think of us if we knew how little people actually thought about anyone else except themselves.
Yeah.
People are so concerned about themselves and what they're going through and their own journeys in life. People are so self-centered and so focused on themselves. They really don't care. Everyone has their own struggles that they're going through. Everyone's got their own things that they're going through. So one thing, bro, and the thing is, this kind of links to this other point, which is when you let something fester, when you're suffering with something on your own, it's so much harder when you're doing it on your own. One example I could give, which obviously it doesn't do any justice to what you're going through, but it gives you kind of parallels, is, for instance, say you're revising for an exam. Yeah, you've got an exam coming up. The way, the tension that builds up, the trauma you go through, in the sense that, it builds up and you're thinking, oh my God, it can go bad like this, and this can happen, that can happen. And because it's in your mind, and because your imagination is fueling this this kind of madness that's going on in your mind, it builds up and it builds up and it builds up until you actually sit there and open that booklet and you look at the first question, and all of a sudden it doesn't seem as bad. No matter how hard the exam is, it's nowhere near as bad as when you were kind of stressing about it in your mind. And it's like that. I had a friend who suffered from depression, and they went through it for a long time on their own. Yeah? And then they opened up to their parents about it, and then they opened up to a couple of their friends, and I was one of the people they opened up to. And we were talking about it once, and he said that even though it's a journey and that he has good days and bad days, he said that the way he feels now is incomparable to how he used to feel. He said that because he was suffering on his own, he felt like the world was closing in on him. He felt like there was nothing he can do, and it was so much worse because he was imprisoned in his own mind. He had no one to turn to, no one to speak to, no one knew what he was going through, and it made it so much worse. And once he actually opened up, he said it was a huge weight off his shoulder, because people understood, and he had people to speak to, and he had that support network, and he started to get professional help, and it completely changed his life. He went from having suicidal thoughts to finally opening up and being the social person he used to be. So I'd say, really go back to those support networks that you have. Try to open up to your parents, open up to your friends, seek professional counsel if you think you should do that. Or at the very least, go to your GP and tell him or her what you're feeling. And then, on their professional opinion, they can tell you what you should do and if you should seek professional counsel. But, stay strong, bro. And from what we've read, you are an incredibly strong person, bro. And may Allah continue to strengthen you and make it easy for you, inshallah. But, so inshallah, if you take these steps, hopefully, there'll be an improvement in your quality of life, inshallah.
100%, man.
Sorry, go on.
No, go for it.
I was gonna say we'll put a few links in the description as well for you, for like people that you can contact for counselling. I think there's a few like in the description.
Yeah.
If you know what that is. I think there's a few like phone. Places you can phone anyway that'll give you advice on that. So,
so if you're not comfortable with going to your GP, there are phone lines you can contact and dedicated services for things like this where you can speak to people anonymously. But we'll put that up on the down the description box below, inshallah.
Yeah, because you don't want it to boil up. If you let it boil within you, then that's just going to kill you before the world even knows about it.
Yeah, and also like no matter like I don't know whichever city you live in, I don't think you mentioned it, but try to get in touch with your old friends if maybe you find that you've grown apart or you're not interested in the same things anymore. Then look for some events, some maybe university society events. But there's a website called Meetup, so if you're like interested in football, playing football games, go to a few of those. If you're interested in movies, they have these people that meet up and go and watch a movie together. So put yourself out there and try and meet some new people.
You said that you like swimming. One suggestion that I thought right now is that you can do outdoor swimming. I don't know if you got it in your city, but there's an outdoor swimming pool here, and basically when people go to that one, they wear the full the swimming suit.
Swimsuit.
Since you said you want to hide your skin condition, you can do that.
Wear the inside,
Yeah, but you would look out apart when you do that.
Yeah,
Because the water inside is hot, but the one outside is like cold and proper cold. Yeah, so people wear these full swimsuits outside. So that would be a great way for you to do swimming, because you can get into like triathlons and that kind of stuff. Because you said you go gym anyway, so you can do that kind of stuff without looking like you're standing out or anything like that.
One thing I was going to say as well, one last thing was, like, all this advice we're telling you right now, it won't work unless you're number one, of course you accept that this is what's bothering you, and you also accept that you need help for it. Because I remember you mentioned as well, sometimes you go to the gym or you hope and pray that one day it's going to peel off. Like, I don't know what else to say, but like that might not happen. So it's like, first you need to realize, listen, this is a problem I'm facing, and I'm going to seek help, and I'm going to do it regardless of how long it's going to take. Don't think, because the stigmas of the taboo that we have in our societies, that we won't reach for counsellors, or we won't do this or won't do that. This is seriously affecting your mental. So it's like, you're going to have to accept it and move on. But inshallah, taking account what we all said, and inshallah, it all works out for you.
One last religious point, because what's it called? Allah tests the ones He loves, innit? So I know you said that your iman was kind of low, but that's a good reminder that I remind myself, or like anyone that's going through stuff should remind themselves that Allah tests the ones that He loves. So stay steadfast in whatever struggle you're going through, and that goes to anyone that's going through any struggles. Are we done?
Yeah. I want to add one more point. It's going to be incredibly hard to do. It's going to be a crazy mission. It's going to be a journey. You're going to have to put in a lot of work for maybe a little bit of progress. Like Salman was saying, there's going to be ups and downs, but keep trying. And if you have any future questions, send them in, and we'll try and talk about that as well.
Yeah, just developing on what Yasin said, and kind of wrapping up on this point. Mental health is a incredibly important aspect of our quality of life and our standard of living, and it's something that, especially in our communities, kind of ethnic minority communities, it's not something we really discuss or give the equal value to. So we just want to say, bro, that it's going to be difficult. Obviously, it's really easy for us to sit here and speak on what you can do, but you're the one who's actually going to have to go through it. And we do want to say that mental health is an incredibly important topic that we do want to engage with, and we will be engaging with further in the future, inshallah. So we just mental health really important, and we will be discussing it in further detail, inshallah.
We're just trying to get the right panel together.
We
don't want it to be.
Just Mussa,
we don't want it to be like people just talking.
Problematic.
Now we want people that have got experience and stuff. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, make sure you comment with your thoughts, or comment advice as well to in regards to this. If you got any advice, if you go through the same stuff, and we appreciate you all. All the people.
Absolutely. And if you're a mental health professional who would be interested in engaging with us on this topic, please do contact us. We have kind of set messages on this on our social media, but if you're watching and you are a mental health professional or you've got experience in the field and you wouldn't mind being on a panel, please do get in touch with us, because we'd love to work with you in the future, inshallah.
There will be an email in the link in the description, so just email back. Peace.
Excellent. Very well done, lads.
That was sick.
Very, very well done.